Yeah, killed her.
What happened? How did she die? Did you hit her?
Yeah.
Okay. How'd you hit her?
Use hand to do that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
What happened after she had died?
The ladder, you carried her up, yes, and put her body on there, yes.
So this is probably the best place to do it. You know, it's well ventilated, there's no salt in it, you're not going to be worried about temperature because it's cooler up there.
What were your plans to do after we quit looking for her? What were you going to do?
We don't really know. There was three things. I burn it, bury it, or throw it in the ocean.
Last night, you guys actually cooked and served meals while your daughter was laying there.
Yes.
And went on business as usual.
Yes.
You have probably already heard the other tape. In a separate room, a mother told detectives how her 5-year-old daughter stopped breathing. That confession traveled the world. This one didn't. This is the girl's father, and the crime he was convicted of was not her death. It was everything he did after it. Ashley Zhao was 5 years old. For most of those 5 years, she had not lived with the two people in these rooms. She had been raised by her grandmother and had only recently been brought home. January 9th, 2017, Jackson Township, Ohio. Her mother struck her and she stopped breathing. By that night, her parents had told police she wandered off from the back of their restaurant. By the next day, she had been found inside it, and both parents were in custody, being questioned in separate rooms. So what he gives the detective is not a denial, it is a map. Keep one fact in front of you for the next 40 minutes, because he is about to confirm it himself. She did not die at the restaurant where she was found. She died at the apartment. Everything at the restaurant was arranged. The detective barely speaks here. He has decided the most useful thing he can do is stay out of the way and let the man keep talking. Welcome back to Cornered Crime Channel. I'll be honest, this channel is still small, so every subscribe and like from you makes a real difference. Thank you for being here.
What happened yesterday morning?
Okay, yesterday morning, we got up, we prepped JoJo for school. I took JoJo to school. I came back. When I came back, my wife was very angry at Ashley because she peed on her diaper and she pooped on her diaper. I know this doesn't sound like a big deal, but she's 5 years old and she's not potty trained, like ever. And I'll explain that a little later. But so that got my wife angry and, you know, said a few things like, you know, you're this old, you know, 5 years old, you still don't know how to go potty and pooping. And, well, my wife was in the room and she was outside in the living room. And after she pooped and potty in a diaper, you know, my wife knows that she has issues with potty training, so she was able to fine, but then she took off her diaper again. So that got my wife angry. And, so, you know, when you're 5 years old, you know, you still don't know how to poop and potty. And my wife got angry and hit her head on the carpet, you know, 2 times. And initially she was breathing. She was still breathing then. And
Did you watch? Did you see your wife do it?
yeah,
Okay.
I was home at that time.
What time was it about?
Usually I start off at 9-ish. I can't say approximately because I don't look at a time. Oh, you know, my wife is banging Ashley said on the carpet. It's 9:15. 9-ish, 9:15, I guess.
Okay. And so, right then she wasn't breathing?
No, she was breathing. She was breathing, and you know, I was like, okay, so she's still breathing. She's okay.
Was there any blood or anything?
No, there's no blood.
Was she walking? I mean,
No, she wasn't walking. She was breathing, but she was lying down, and I thought she was going to come out of it in a little bit, you know. So she stopped, but I didn't realize she stopped. I thought she was breathing normally now because she was gasping, like it was. I can't really remember or recall exactly what, but it was a lot heavier than normal. So it sounded like a snore almost.
Okay.
So at that point she stopped. I thought, okay, so she's breathing normally now. So didn't really pay attention to it. And then a little later, I went to, hold her and just didn't feel right. And I checked her heart. It stopped beating. So I started panicking and I tried to do CPR on her, try to breathe in her mouth and give her chest compressions. I don't exactly know how long I did that for. I know I did it for a pretty darn long time, maybe 15 minutes to a half an hour or something like that. And that's when we realized she's gone. Like I tried and, I told my wife, so proud of me, maybe if I just realized it sooner, that, when she stopped breathing that snore sound, her heart stopped bleeding. Her heart stopped breathing her heart stopped beating at that time. Maybe I could have started compression then, it would have saved her or something. I don't know. I know that I didn't start directly right after because I thought she was breathing normally then.
When she was on the floor, you thought she was breathing?
Yeah, when she wasn't doing that snoring sound anymore, I thought she was breathing normally. I thought she was going to come out of it in like a little bit.
How long did she lay on the floor after?
After hitting the carpet?
Yeah.
2-3 minutes, making that sound. No, it was much longer than that. We actually took her to the bathroom because she was vomiting. We took her to the bathroom and she vomited. So we vomited in the toilet, and then she got vomit all over. So we took her and rinsed her off in the bath, take her out. So she must have been breathing like that for about a good 5 minutes at least. At least. Because the screen stuff came out. I don't know if that makes sense, but like greenish, like light greenish tint.
Out of her vomit?
Yeah. So we took her to the bathroom and we thought maybe get rid of that. And then she got it all over herself. So we rinsed her off, took her to the living room to dress her. And she was still breathing like that for a while. So overall, probably 5.
Were her eyes open? Was she responding?
Yeah, she was like overall, after she hit the carpet, she was probably breathing for another 5 to 10 minutes. Considering that, we took her to the bathroom, had vomit on her, rinsed her off, then put clothes on her, and then let her sit there for a while, and then I noticed that she started, she was breathing really weird again. So when I thought she was breathing regularly, and then checked her, then I realized that her heart stopped. Then that's when I started doing compressions. I did it for a while, and then we started panicking. We didn't know what to do. First thing that came to my mind was I'm gonna lose JoJo, and my family's gonna fall apart.
Who's JoJo?
My older daughter.
Your oldest daughter.
Yeah.
Anytime did
JoJo's in school.
you or your wife tell each other to call 911?
I told her to go pick up JoJo, and I was going to stay here and call 911.
Why would you pick JoJo up?
Huh?
Why would you pick JoJo up?
I was going to tell her to go pick JoJo up, and I was going to call 911.
Why? School wasn't over at that time, right? It wasn't early, right?
No.
Well, this is 9:15 in the morning?
Yeah.
Okay. Does she not go full?
No, she goes full day. I was going to tell my wife to go pick her up, so I was going to call 911 and tell her that it was an accident, so my wife wouldn't be there.
So what happened?
We talked about it, and
Talked about what?
she said that, we're both afraid. We're both afraid what's going to happen if we call.
Okay.
I wanted to send her away so that, I'll be there. If someone gets in trouble, it'll be me, and she'll be okay. And I kind of wish it didn't happen this way, not both of us are in really big trouble. But yeah, I wanted to send her away and, call the police. and, you know, both of us were afraid what was going to happen. If we did, we were afraid that we were going to lose our daughter, we were going to lose our family, the restaurant, the house, that we're getting everything in our lives. That's, you know, that we worked so hard for the past 6 years. This was going to be gone.
Okay.
So that fear led us that, you know, like, it's an accident, so.
Okay, so what happened? I mean, she's laying there, she's not breathing. What happened then?
We couldn't decide what to do, and, you know, after a while, we decided, both of us, I don't know exactly what came up with what, but, you know, we should bring her to the restaurant so JoJo can see her. So JoJo, when you guys ask her, you know, like, I was thinking maybe that wasn't a good idea, but I was thinking clearly at the time. So, you know, bring her to the restaurant so JoJo can see her, so that when we call, JoJo can say, oh, she was here at the restaurant and she left the back door at the restaurant instead of, you know, at the house. She accidentally got killed. So.
Where were you gonna put her at the restaurant so JoJo could see her?
And, you know, at the room that she was normally in, she sleeps in there. So, JoJo will see that she's sleeping there and can verify it, and, you know, she's sick, so, and even if you ask her to take a polygraph, I don't know, ask a 6-year-old to take a polygraph, but a 6-year-old wouldn't lie like that, and so we didn't want JoJo to lie, so we.
So you drove that to the store. Was there a gentleman looking on the roof?
Yes.
Your daughter, did you carry her in?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. They saw me.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, there was 2 guys on the roof, working on the roof or something like that. And we brought her inside, and we just laid her there, and we just continued our work. The plan was for JoJo to come home and see her there to verify that she's there, and then I would hide her up in on top of the walk-in freezer. And then when we called the police at night, you know that I was going to come down here, take a polygraph. I was going to be asking so much questions. There was going to be so many people involved. If we knew that there was going to be like 100 people searching for, maybe even more, I don't even know. I am so sorry.
What were your plans to do after maybe we quit looking for her? What were you going to do?
We don't really know. There was 3 things. I'd burn it, bury it, or throw it in the ocean. Those are the only 3 things that we can think of. And we know that. I think that's probably one of the reasons, you know, that other than the fact that there's so many reasons why I told Randy what I told Randy. But one of the reasons is Randy mentioned it, and I know, I mean, you know, without him telling me, I know this. If let's say that I went through with this and I didn't get caught, I'm going to be looking over my shoulder for I don't even know how long. You know, because there's a dead body there. You know, that I have to eventually get rid of. And if you put it in the ocean, the tides can wash it back. If you bury it, wild animals can get at it, someone can find it. If you burn it, there's a chance that someone's going to see you because it's going to be a big flame. You're not going to do it during the day, and you're going to be doing it during the night. So when you're burning a big flame at night, someone's going to see you. We thought about all of this. And honestly, we weren't really too sure on what to do after that.
You came back to this morning.
Yes.
To light candles, a little.
Instance, yes.
What was that for?
At appearance, it was for, you know, for you guys to hope that Ashley would get found, but, you know, but really, I was praying that this would be resolved so that we would keep our family together.
A statewide alert for a missing child had already gone out. The search he is describing was real, and it was looking in the one place she would never be, outside.
What you How'd you get up her ladder?
Yeah.
The ladder, you carried her up
Yes.
and put her body out there?
Yes.
Notice what he keeps returning to, unprompted. Not what he did, but that his wife is a good person. He is building her defense inside his own confession.
And then you call this like a portal 8, or portal 9, I mean.
Yeah. So whatever is the time that's recorded.
Yeah.
Do you want me to tell you the rest?
Yeah.
So, this is being recorded, right?
Yes.
Okay. My wife, she's not a bad person. She's not. That's, I mean, you know, I married her. I mean, I wouldn't marry her if she was physically abusive in the beginning. You can see my daughter, my JoJo, she's 6 years old. We took care of both of us for 6 years. Not one time did my wife, like, physically abuse her, you know, out of anger or anything like that. You know, we spanked her, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct her if
Yeah.
she did something wrong.
Yeah, but nothing like, you know, the bruises on her, you know, all over the place that you found on Ashley. My wife is a good person. I know it's very hard to believe, you know, seeing Ashley, but look at JoJo. Look at JoJo, you know, she's a good person. She's a good mother. She just has problems. She has problems with Ashley because when we got her, when she was born, we didn't raise her. My mom raised her
Okay.
for 4 years, and then we got her back in here, so she's fine. We raised, I only saw my daughter for a year, you know, she's fine. So only one typical life, more or less. I saw her when she was like 1.5 or about 2. But both of us, we know my wife had this problem. In the beginning, when she started reacting like this to Ashley, not initially, not when she first came down, she was fine. I'll explain that too. But when she first started being like this to Ashley, I tried to step in and stop it.
When did that start?
When my mom started telling my wife that she was doing it wrong. She was raising Ashley wrong.
Okay, how long ago was that?
About 1 month after Ashley came here, my mom came here to visit. We told her to stay away because we know, my mom knows that my wife had issues with her, and you know, it needs some time with Ashley to adjust. And you know, we talked about this constantly, and that's why it's very fresh in my mind. But that's when it started, and when it started, it was not that big of a deal. But then my mom constantly, every which way. I know I sound like I'm placing blame, but I'm just telling you what happened.
Okay.
I know I sound like I'm placing blame for my wife's condition, but I'm just telling you what happened. You know, that's it that one time. She came down, she visited, my wife let that go. That's fine. She was a little angered by that. She was a little pissed off about it. But then my wife would tell my aunt and my grandmother to tell my wife the same thing. You know, my mom would do that and tell people to constantly check up on Ashley, make sure that she's okay, stuff like that. And it would just go on forever. It was up to a point where we had to tell my mom, stop calling us. You know, don't send people here anymore. Tell grandma to stop coming here. Because we've been here for 6 years. First couple of years, my grandma almost never comes. Nobody comes visit us. My mom never calls me, ever. Like, you can check my phone records, pick up as much phone records as you like. I don't talk a lot with my mom. But then, when Ashley got here, you know, constantly calling, you know, you're doing this wrong, stuff like that, you know. Yeah. So, that kind of got to my wife. Because, you know, it's your own daughter, and then there's your mother-in-law telling you that you're not doing it right. You're not doing it what you're supposed to do. That's one thing. And another thing is that you look at your own daughter, and you got her, she's 4, she's not potty trained. She doesn't know her last name. She doesn't know if she's a boy or a girl. I know you can't verify that, but if you want, I can tell you, you can put me back on the machine and I can tell you that I'll tell you the truth when I'm telling you these things. You can put me back on the machine, I can tell you that when I'm telling you these things that she's not potty trained, she doesn't know her last name, and she doesn't know if she was a boy or a girl when we got her when she was born. And the list goes on and on with these things. And I mean, she knows she's a boy or girl now because we taught her, and we taught her her last name. But initially when we got her, she didn't. And that combined with the fact that my mom keeps telling my wife, you know, she's doing it wrong. And then we see how Ashley was actually raised. The combination of the two just made my wife really angry. And the more my wife sees Ashley being that way, you know, not be able to potty train, it just get her angry. And I tell my wife, just stop, you know, just let it be. And both myself and my wife, we knew that something like this would happen eventually if Ashley wasn't sent away. But we couldn't have sent her my mom because my mom will raise her like this again. So the plan was to send her to my wife's mom in China, and eventually I was just hoping that, you know, it wouldn't come to this before we sent her away. And it would give my wife some time to balance out.
Well, why did you give her to your mom anyway?
She was my mom. She was.
No, I mean, why didn't you raise Ashley yourself?
Oh, I was running a restaurant. Couldn't really take care of everything, so I could trust my mom, you know, to raise my daughter. And initially I told her to come down. I told her to bring Ashley down so that I could see her grow up and I could build a relationship with her, but my mom refused. For so long, you know, we kept telling her, kept calling her, and, you know, she gave it a try when Ashley was about 1.5. That's when I saw her 1.5, and then, you know, she said she could live with me. So that's when she took Ashley away again. That's when I saw her again at 4.
How long has she been down there, since she was 4?
5 years. She's 5 now. She just turned 5.
So
Not so long ago.
when did the abuse start with your wife and Ashley?
About a little bit after a month after she arrived. In the beginning, it was not that bad. It was like discipline, you know, trying to correct her, you know, like you got a potty, the toilet, you know, stuff like that, minor stuff. And the thing with Ashley was that she still doesn't know to potty in the bathroom. So that really gets my wife going because we have her for a year now. She still can't. She's still not potty trained.
So that was one of the things that really irritated your wife.
Yes, I mean, and then she was like everything that irritated my wife let go one after another. Okay, so she'd be potty on the bed, fine, let her go. You know, a couple of months, she's gonna be with my mom. I'll just buy diapers, take care of it, and hopefully she'll get away from me. She'll get a fresh start from my mom. You know, speak against my wife. And, you know, my mom will take care of her. Not my mom, my wife's mom. You know, my wife's mom will take care of her, and they'll have a fresh start, both of them. And my wife will have a fresh start. It's like, okay, just let that go. But then, you know, after she poops and potty on her diaper, she takes her diaper off. And that's what triggered that yesterday.
Well, okay, so when we were at your house yesterday, we asked where you sleep. Did Ashley sleep in the living room, or did she actually sleep in the other bedroom?
She sleeps in the living room because my wife, before it was different. Before it was, we had the 2 rooms. The kids used to sleep in the big room, and we used to sleep in the little room. And we used to keep the junk in the living room.
Okay, and then the trunk of the rental car, there was a big fuzzy bear.
Yeah.
Was there a reason for that to be in the trunk? There was one at home.
Oh, no, there's no reason. No, there's no psychological reason. It was just that we bought one for the kids, and it was on sale at Sam's Club. It was initially like $14.88, and it was on sale for $4.71. So we just bought an extra one. Like, this could make a good gift, you know. It's cheap. No, there's no reason for that.
I didn't know if they took it away from the house or whatever. You know, I just didn't know why it
No,
was.
there's no psychological reasons like, okay, Ashley's bear needs to stay in the trunk and JoJo's bear needs to stay, nothing like that. Yeah.
So let's back up. After Jackson came out to the restaurant last night and you filed a report,
Uh-huh.
what did you guys talk about after the police left?
We were worried. I mean, same thing. I told you earlier, you know, constantly looking over our shoulder, you know, like, and just, you know, this thing on your chest, and just, you wanna not worry about that stuff, you know. And we were talking about it, we were like worried constantly, okay, are they gonna find her?
You want to be able to tell somebody what happened so you don't have that burden, right?
Yeah, I was just constantly worried, are they gonna find her? You know, it's like, how would they do it to find her? And I told my wife, they find her, and I told her everything.
What did your wife say about that?
Because my wife asked me what to do, and my wife, you know, I mean, she knows what we do. I mean, obviously we can't deny it. You know, that's just stupid. So, but...
Your wife told something to the other FBI agent, something about some black men coming into the...
Yeah, she was trying to... That's true. That's true. The restaurant or the apartment?
The restaurant.
That's true. It's all true. That's not a lie, but it's unrelated. It's unrelated. It's true, though. There was at a point, there's these two black guys who came to the restaurant twice, on two occasions, very separate apart, like a couple of months apart. And the only reason I remember them because they asked very unusual questions. We didn't think they were going to take our baby. We think they were going to rob us, like after a busy hour before we close. Because they asked us, how long are you busy for? When do you start being busy? What time do you close? And they asked the same questions the second time. And I think they changed their target because they probably thought, you know, we don't have much money here, it's not worth robbing. But that's the impression that I got. I was worried because they did that twice in like a span of a couple of months. You know, they came inside and asked, you know. And it was always like late at night when there's like no one around.
Getting back to the last night, you guys actually cooked and served meals while your daughter was laying there.
Yes.
And went on business as usual.
Yes.
And that was to keep JoJo from thinking anything bad was going on.
Yes.
Okay. That way, when she talked to us, she wouldn't lie to us about what she saw, or at least how she perceived it.
Yes. Is there anything else you would like to ask? And I'll answer everything.
Why didn't you ever report the abuse to law enforcement?
I was worried. I was scared that guys gonna take my wife away.
Abuse, were we talking?
It's not like initially so bad. If it was initially so bad, I would probably report it, but just, you know, it worked.
Escalated?
Yeah, and then at that point I was like, she got so much bruises on her, I can't call it in anymore.
Well, would she twist her arm? Would she kick her? Would she hit her? What happened?
Well, pretty much all of it, you know, twist her arm, kick her, hit her.
But never touch JoJo?
No, not once. And not like, you know, oh, she just teased her and just pisses her off, you know, push her down the stairs or something. It's always when Ashley does something, and that's her trigger, you know. My mom tells my wife that she's raising kids wrong, and then every single time Ashley does something that reminds my wife of what my mom's dad, like, you know, her doing something not a 5-year-old should do, that's pretty much triggered. It's like, you know, like Ashley would, it's weird, she would go like this, I'll show you, yeah, I don't have anyone to and we try to get her to stand like normal, but before she would stand like this, I don't know why, I don't know where you get, I don't know when, I don't know how Ashley did that, but my mom never corrected her that this is not how a person should stand. She would stand like this, on one feet, and the other one would heel up, and hands like this. We told her to put both feet down, both hands down. And she would just do that. Pretty much, we correct her, she would do it, correct her and do it, she would do it. A lot of things, there's a lot of things that we felt that my mom had her for 4 years, that she should correct these things because they're not normal. So, every single time when Ashley would do something like that, it would trigger my wife because my wife would be reminded of what my mom said. I didn't report the abuse because I was afraid, same thing that I'm afraid of now, that it was going to
Split the family up.
Yes, I'm sorry. And we know this for a long time, that it was getting really bad, and we're going to send Ashley back to China with her mom, my wife's mom, and she would take care of her and give my wife some time to balance things out, and she wouldn't feel this inside of her head, inside of her heart. And, we were thinking maybe 2 years it would take, how long my wife needs, that's when we bring Ashley back. Whatever time my wife needs to make her not feel this way inside her head, inside her heart, that's this anger towards my mom that she's projecting onto Ashley, pretty much, whatever time she would need. But then, we wanted to send her right away. My wife would call her mom and says, screaming, she can't take this anymore. But her mom is taking care of her brother's kids, my wife's brother's kids. We were going to wait because her brother was going to send her kids back to the United States because they're born here and they're old enough to go to school now. He's working, doesn't have time to take care of his kids, so he sends them back to China. But mom take care of kids. We got to send them here, and the arrangement was going to be, not between, it was understood that when he comes back, she would go. So, but that wasn't going to happen until a little later. I was trying to hold out, and I didn't expect this to happen. A couple of times she hit her head before on a carpet like that, and she comes out of it. This is the only time, obviously, this is the first time and the last time that she didn't.
How many times would you say she's done that to her?
4 maybe?
Does she ever have a doctor's visit did they ever,
No,
she was not bruised or?
We didn't think that the doctor, we were afraid because the doctor would see that, would see that, she's bruised all over her body.
So she had that many bruises on her.
Yes.
So it was a daily thing that.
Not daily. A couple of times a week, not every single day. Because believe it or not, my wife does try to control herself. Usually did it quite a bit daily. But there was periods where she tried to control herself a lot, and it would be like weeks before, there would be periods, weeks, literally weeks.
Did you ever tell her she needs to knock it off?
I tried that.
She needs to stop?
I tried that, and she knows she needs to stop, and I tried. But in the beginning, it seems like the more I try, it depends on the situation. Like if she's at that time where she's feeling that anger, and I tell her to stop, she gets even more angry.
This time, yesterday morning, this last time when she did it, what did your wife do after she
Hit her
head on the floor?
So she usually leaves, and then I go take care of her. But then, as I mentioned,
Did she leave this time?
Not like leave the apartment, but leave the living room.
Left the room. What would she go do?
I don't know. I can't see. I was trying to take her back. She probably went into the bedroom or the bathroom. But then I started noticing that she was throwing up the screen stuff. So both of us took Ashley to the bathroom, took care of her.
Did she say anything when she started throwing up?
No, not that I recall.
Never made any comments while you guys were cleaning her up and getting her dressed?
I'm going to try to remember. I'm going to try to be honest as I can, but right now I can't remember. Okay? So I'm trying to be honest as I can with you guys.
No,
right
I appreciate it.
Comments while she was going to the bathroom. I know she said something, but usually I don't listen to that kind of stuff. so I kind of tune it out for me to
Is
remember
it kind of
that.
negative? Is that what I mean?
Yes,
Negative towards Ashley?
I have no idea at the point because usually at that point I just tune out. So it could have been negative, it could have been neutral, but it's definitely not positive. Is it okay for me to ask a couple of questions, or you guys would be able to answer it? It's pretty much the same questions I tried to ask before. Would you be able to answer that? No? Oh, okay.
Just go ahead. I don't know what, I can't read your mind. I don't know what questions you're asking.
It's pretty much about the future. I know you can't tell the future, but being in law enforcement, I was hoping that maybe you can answer some of these questions for me.
We can try.
Okay. Do you know what's going to happen to my wife? I mean, I understand she's going to get locked up, but is it like a regular jail, or she's going to get like institutionalized?
Well, it'll be regular jail.
I mean,
right
it
now.
would just go to the regular jail.
It has to go through court and everything.
I think she needs some help. I think she needs some help.
Well, that'll be between her and her attorney and the judges. That's not for us to decide.
Yeah.
And do you guys know how long I'm going to get locked up for? Approximately.
I don't know.
3 years? 3 years?
I don't know.
Are we talking like decades or years?
I can't be honest with you. I'm not sure. We need to talk to our prosecutor, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
Okay. So what we're gonna do?
Do I have a choice on how JoJo is raised? I can have her in foster care instead of raised by my parents.
You don't want your family to come get her?
No, I don't want her to be raised by my parents.
Do you have any family close? No family at all. You want?
They're close, but I don't want them. I'm not close to my dad.
Well, they'll probably go to see Child Protective Services right now. And that'll all be worked out later, and they will talk to you, you know.
There's 2 people that possibly, but they don't know her. They saw her maybe like 2 times since she was born.
Are they relatives?
My sisters. They're okay people, but I still don't trust them. One of them I do, just that my mom is going to get so much access to her. I don't want that.
Well, then, I mean, and I'm sure CPS will talk to you about it, because, you know.
Because I don't want JoJo. I mean, I know she's sick now. She's going to be probably not going to get affected by my mom like that, but still, I don't want my mom.
Do you have any intentions of hurting yourself?
No, I mean, I thought about it earlier. It's like, if I can't say anything, you know, but I already told everything to him. So, I mean, I wanted to say it.
Don't you feel, I mean, you kind of feel better, don't you?
I was thinking the same thing, like, if I just not be able to talk, I wouldn't feel that anymore either.
So you're not thinking about hurting yourself right now?
Not at the moment. Not at the moment, I swear.
Okay. When you say not at the moment,
But kind of,
it leads me to believe that you may later.
I don't know. I have to sort things out in my head.
Okay. All right. Stand up on them. Make sure you don't have any weapons or anything on you.
I patted him down and got a pocket knife earlier, but
Yeah, I'm sorry. Sunglasses. Inside there's keys, closed. And here there's keys. Totally my wallet and stuff like that. I took it out when I was talking to Randy.
Every question he asks at the end is about someone still alive, his wife, his older daughter, himself. Ashley's name has stopped coming up.
Not that she's a bad person, it's just what happened with Ashley. I'm very afraid that she's going to raise JoJo the same way.
what's your wife's name again?
Mingming. M-I-N-G. I know I'd like to ask you this, but I'd like to be able to see my daughter and my wife before I
No,
go to jail.
I'm sorry, because she's probably going to be both your wife is, and we can't bring your daughter here. It wouldn't be fair to her to see you like this.
That's why I told her I'm supposed to meet them before I tell them everything. You know what's happening to my wife right now?
No, I haven't heard from them.
Jail, or am I going to be allowed to take care of my personal stuff? As I mentioned, you can send someone to watch me if you want to make sure that I don't kill myself or something. But am I going to be allowed to take care of my personal stuff?
No, actually, your both personal places are crime scene right now. Because the killing her in the apartment and taking her then they're both a crime scene, so you wouldn't be allowed in them anyway.
All right, we're gonna switch rooms. Walk over here.
I need to take that chair out.
No, I'll get it later. Just shut that light out.
Mingming Chen pleaded guilty to involuntary manslaughter and other charges, and was sentenced to 22 years in prison, with deportation to follow. Liang Zhao's murder charge was dropped in exchange for his testimony against her. He pleaded guilty to obstruction of justice, tampering with evidence, gross abuse of a corpse, and child endangering, and was sentenced to 12 years.